Joining us for this segment of Reaching Out is Rashawn McMillan. Rashawn is a caretaker for the New York City Housing Authority. Rashawn, welcome to Reaching Out.
Thank you, Mr. Floyd. Nice to be here.
And tell us, where are you assigned? Where's your assignment?
I currently work at Strauss Houses in Manhattan. It's about 2 blocks from Bellevue Hospital. So I'm in the mix of Midtown.
That's not I would say, one of the more heavily populated developments. That's a smaller development.
Yes, it's a small development with a lot of apartments, though.
And what led you to take a career with the New York City Housing Authority?
Well, I come from a family of city employees, so it was like basically in my genes to me. And going to me, my parents, my mom retired from sanitation, my dad retired from transit, so everybody in my family is in the city sector. So I always wanted to work for the city. In housing, I've been trying for years. Like, I'm grateful to have gotten in now.
So tell us, what does a caretaker do for the New York City Housing Authority, especially at Strauss Houses? What is your day like?
Depending on the day, it can be real full, it can be hectic, it can be easy, because you never know when you're coming into a housing development, because we're dealing with families. So at Strauss Houses, we try to make sure the tenants are safe. Residents are the most important thing on the job. And when I come in, we have garbage, we have compactors, we have the walk-down buildings. We have to make sure doors are secure. We have to make sure there are no floods, no slips. Like, the job can be really demanding.
And just recently, I know you've read a lot of stories in the paper about NYCHA and how it's functioning. How do you feel about your performance and your colleagues' performance and everybody that works with you? How are you faring in the attacks on NYCHA?
I'm not as happy, but I'm not responsible for other people's comments. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. At Strauss Houses, we agree to disagree, but at the end of the day, we get the job done because there's no I in team. I've been in housing 2 years, and in the 2 years, I was able to work through Irene, Sandy, Nemo, spend a night at the job, and really, get out there on the front line, as I call it. I like being on the front line. So when housing now, to me, is starting to give jobs to residents, and I think that's a real good thing, to give the residents jobs so they can put back into their community, and they get to see what we actually go through when it's time to work together, because we need the residents to work with us just as well as we work for the residents.
Well said. And how did you? How was your experience working through Hurricane Sandy? As
a worker, I didn't see. I just did the next thing. I carpooled for my coworkers. We went out to gas stations, and it was hard to be out on the front lines, as I say, to no lights. Like, I would drive in our area, we had no lights, and then you come across 34th Street and you see lights. It was kind of confusing and baffling. At work, it wasn't as bad as when I got home at the end of the day, because I'm also a NYCHA resident. So I live in Vladeck Houses. So to be at work from 8:30 to 4 with my colleagues and getting the job done, it was a different experience for me at 4:30 when I went home, and I had to help my family survive through the dark and, get the best things we can get to be okay, and no cell phones, no service.
Where's Vladeck Houses?
Vladeck Houses is located on, it covers Madison Street, Jackson Street, Gouverneur area.
So you were in that affected zone that was south of 14th Street that didn't have power for quite some time.
Right, for all week. I was grateful that Brooklyn had power, so I was able to stay with some family members in Brooklyn. My mom is still in Lafayette Gardens. My daughter's in Langston Hughes. Housing Authority, I like to give back what they've given me, because they've given me a home all my life, and I would like to bring the safety back. With the union, I appreciate the fact that we started this new workplace success risk assessment. I'm on a team with Diane Stein, Tom Heleno. I'm going to the different developments every week, doing a walk down. and checking for the lighting and getting the safety for the caretakers, because we are on the front line. So I'm honored to go to different developments and talk to the caretakers and find out what can we do to make it better and safer for us, which, I hope one day that it becomes a felony to assault not just a NYCHA resident, but any municipal worker at this time.
I think it's unfortunately going to come to that in the near future. But that's all the time we have for this segment of Reaching Out. I'm Gregory Floyd, President Local 237. Our very special guest was Rashawn McMillan. Rashawn is a caretaker with the New York City Housing Authority. Thank you.
Thank you.